An exciting bracket there, and of course making the progress all the way through Rio Waida, an exciting quarterfinal against Mateus Hurdy, and then now making his way to the finals. Welcome to finals edition. It is the 53rd running of the event in the region. Welcome to South Africa as we get surfing underway, and we draw the attention to the 35-minute final, and smooth as anything, Reo Waida into the second final of the year on the Challenger Series. We'll just get that one absolutely smoothly out the gates under the nose of Gatien Delahaye. And well, let's already start breaking down what, Brad, you're calling could go a very important score in the final.
Beautiful flow to start off with. Love that turn. That was the big punctuation, but it wasn't done yet. Goes straight into the air reverse. Judges love a combination of maneuvers with variety, and two-turn combination there. And of course, we can't discount that floater. A bit more of a transitional move. You see, he uses the floater here to get onto the open face. So up and over the section to get to where he wants to get to here. Puts him in the perfect position. Loses no speed, but then jams the back foot in there for some incredible power surfing, but then straight into the little air reverse. It wasn't a massive aerial, but when you couple that with a big carve before, that's going to go into a very, very big score. One judge gave him an 8, and then just looking back at it, I think, that first turn, like I said, was more of a transitional turn to get him across the section. We'll hold that thought.
Well, firing away, second turn, and let's go. A lot of white water there. Rio Waida, second wave of the finals of the Ballito Pro, and firing away, Brad. He's not going to let anything move in the lineup without at least having a good look at it. He will now be under the priority of Gatien Delahaye.
I think that first turn was ended up being a transitional maneuver to get him onto the open face. The big carve was obviously amazing, and then the air wasn't as big as I initially thought it was. Let's have a look at this one.
Oh, in the tube. We haven't seen tubes. Are you joking? He has found one in the lineup. There has not been a lot of them on offer, and there is something in the breakfast that we need to investigate for Reo Waida, because he is in form, and well, we haven't seen one of those for quite a while, Brad.
Well, we'll take a look at the replay over here. Nice little wedge. You can see he was looking for that barrel right from the get-go. Two little sections, not super deep on those two barrels. Judges like to see the nose of the board completely disappear, but from this angle, it'll look really fun. You can see he just tucks under the lip just in time, but then sets the line, sees another section approaching, and just holds the line all the way through the barrel, gets a little shampoo on the way out.
The Indonesian Reo Waida, just 22 years out of Bali, is in the lead in the finals, and Gatien Delahaye will now get a chance to get his scorecard moving, and just a little bit off kilter there. Got the slam in the lip to get going. And on the other side, semi-final number 2, Gatien Delahaye took out Leo Fioravante, and well, hung on to that result. It was a real scratchy heat. It was a low fair. There was nothing glamorous to semi-final number 2, but Delahaye finds his way into the finals, and he's got to just clear his head and stay in the zone as a wave 3, in fact a wave 4 now in the lineup in the finals. Reo Waida in momentum. We'll have Bali, Kuta Beach. Everybody will be around the screens this evening and enjoying it. Of course, early evening there, around 6 p.m. in Bali, Indonesia. Top left of screen is up to date, 12.67. The two-wave total for the Indonesian, who will just keep working the lineup, looking for opportunities. And I think what he's done here, Brad, as well, is he's tried to break away from Gatien.
Some of the greatest surfers of the world have come out of this region. Thinking back to Shaun Thompson, the world champions. And then right now to the modern era with Geordie Smith.
Well, of course, you mentioned Shaun Thompson there, 6 times winner of the event. And let's have a look at Gatien Delahaye. Let's discuss what he can find in the lineup. Well, snap to release. And it's just a little bit of a rumbly landing. Perhaps not seeing a couple of basic turns to find a score there, Brad.
I think they really have to do big airs and big technical maneuvers to compete with him without having those basics down. Let's see what he can do here.
Well, he'll want to stick to fundamentals. There's a snap, and he gets rid of the lip quite well, releases the tail. Just one of those. So Gatien must just keep nerve. We felt that he kept on a pretty calm road through that semi with Leo a little earlier on, and well, again, Reo Waida just looking to up his numbers respectively. Right now, the tube ride for the 517 still sitting in the top 2. We start asking the questions, does a wave like the last constructed ride, get rid of the 517.
And then we'll see what he did on his opening wave here. So skips into this wave nicely into one little snap. That one really not a wave of turn of consequence. This one, though, you can see flaring nicely. A heavy oncoming section. A smaller wave probably going to play into the equation here a little bit. Yeah, not far off. So this is what you've got to do under priority. Just try and, scour that lineup like he's doing now to find that replacement score.
Well, for the second time in a finals, Rio Waida in charge of this third stop on the Challenger Series, grinding away those turns again, all of this under the priority of Gatien Delahaye. And he's just keeping busy, Brad. And, well, as I say, the previous ride, the 493, just trying to see if he can't just edge the 517 for the tube ride out of the scoreline.
Let's have a look. A little corner under priority. Nice lot of speed. You can see this is the one where he opens up his shoulders, gets the tail to drip because all that power is on the back foot, and then he slams down that close-out turn. So this one might go close. Power on the back foot here. You can see he slams that tail all the way around. Means his fins had an opportunity to drift because of all that power put into that back foot. Gatien having his breakout event and his first big final.
Well, the Frenchman, the 25-year-old, will get going and he'll get into the air, and there we go. Now that is a move in the right direction for Gatien, who will push the progressive element of the sport.
He's dropped the anchor, he's been patient, and you can see now he just telegraphed this one maneuver down the line, gets up and over, not a very high air, not too technical. He would have done those all day long through his free surf, so we'll break it down here a bit slower. You can see just one little opportunity here, so he needs to go into the air to make something count here. Finds a launch pad, you can see he whips the tail out and then guides it around with his front foot.
Will get some momentum in the right direction now. He's dropped his requirements down to a 7.11 priority at use here by the heat leader, who will block out the potential. So there is the classic block and the use of priority. A big highlight on the local calendar here in South Africa, and everyone's into it. And here is the opportunity. Priority has been chosen here by Gatien, who will chase the 7.11. The Frenchman in motion. And just a softer part of that end of that wave, Brad, will just let him down as we go under the 10-minute mark. And, of course, France does play host to one of the Challenger Series events upcoming in October in Hossegor. Let's have a look at the effort from your heat leader. Rio Waida will want to go to the air, and he'll do it beautifully. He has those landings on tap, Brad. That was not a blemish to it. He launched beautifully. A short wave, a pocket. And he'll still squeeze this one through on the higher tide now through to the inside. And perhaps that will replace the 517. As they'll start celebrating perhaps a win here for the Indonesian. What about this?
Yeah, big closeout turn. It was a tough section to hit. It was more like just a classic reverse out of that re-entry with a bit of a blowtail thrown in. Not your classic big air reverse that was tail hard towards the beach. We'll break it down a bit more over here and see it a little bit closer. Comes into the section nice. Gets the lip up and down, so it really blows that tail out.
9.93, just short of the combination score. You start thinking that this is the second win of the year for the Indonesian, as he'll just keep busy in this final here. And it is certainly absolutely on point surfing from the Indonesian. But an 8-pointer puts the pressure on this man. To the air will go Gatien Delahaye, and he'll just go incomplete, will the Frenchman, who is having an absolute breakout here. He'll get a minimum, as we felt, of 7,800 points for the visit to Ballito. He's going to separate himself way above Leo Fioravanti in those rankings. We'll talk more about that. Gatien will launch to the air. He's trying to find an 8 of his own now. He saw that punchy little wave for Rio Waida. He's heard the score.
These are, by no uncertain terms, his goals, and we might just see a little victory lap here, because this is a victory when all is said and done for the man from France.
Well, Gatien Delahaye, a personal best here. He'll just roll this one out. He's not going to fetch the requirement of the 9.93, and we're inside the last minute of competition. And certainly, let's just have a look at a replay here. While we were watching Gatien, Rio got busy again.
Well, look at this now. He's having fun with it.
A second win in a row for the man in red, Reo Waida. What a moment for him, getting the win in Sydney over Ryan Callanan. Now he'll take the win over Gatien Delahaye here in Ballito, and he'll join the history books in the longest running professional surf event. He'll join that illustrious winners list. Yeah,
I mean, what a highlight of this young man's career. He's been pushing through the juniors, he's been pushing through the qualifying series, he's been given those wildcard opportunities, and his goal is very, very clear. He wants to get on the championship tour, he wants to fly the flag for Indonesia, and this event today is another huge stride towards achieving that goal.